Let's thank ACME. And ACME has been supported by a number of other organizations to put this event together. So we have the Center for ICT Policy for Eastern and Southern Africa, CIPESA. I know we were expecting a representative from CIPESA. They're not in the room as yet, but they'll be joining us. We have the National Association of Broadcasters, Uganda. Do we have any representative yet? Okay. I think that we should agree that if we're going to clap, we clap. If we're not going to clap, let's not try. Okay. Parliament of Uganda, any representative as yet? Okay, they will be joining us shortly. UNICEF in Uganda. And finally, Care and Assistance for Forced Migrants, KAFOMI. Well, thank you all so much for contributing to make this event a success. We're here for the Uganda National Journalism Awards 2021. I would like to appreciate all of the journalists, the editors in the room. It's very rare that I'm in the front here addressing people and the journalists are the guests of honors. So this is a great opportunity for me to do that. I celebrate all of you in your capacities as you're here and for the work that you do. I'd like us to start quickly since we've run ahead of time, or time has gone ahead of us. Officially, yes, you're welcome, but I'd like to invite the ACME board chair, Ms. Susan Sibira, to welcome you in a special way and give a sense of what's going to follow after this.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Uganda National Journalism Awards Gala 2021. I thought I would hear a more excited... because, you know, journalism is such a, many times, a thankless career, you know? So if we have an awards ceremony like we have today put together, I would expect more excitement, especially from my colleagues in journalism and the media. So can I hear a more excited, thank you. I am excited to stand before you in my maiden public appearance as chair of the board of directors of the African Center for Media Excellence, ACME. And many of us already know what ACME does and our role in the media industry. Incorporated 12 years ago, we're a non-profit media support organization because journalism matters, but support to journalism matters even more. So strategically, ACME occupies the space between the media industry and the academic institutions that train journalists. We are committed to excellence in journalism and mass communication in Africa, although we started at home in Uganda. And our main goal is to make the media a more effective platform for the provision of information on public affairs, a tool for monitoring official power, and a forum for vibrant public debate. So the formation of ACME was driven by the realization that most media capacity building activities in the region were just ad hoc. There was nothing really formal. There was a need to institutionalize mid-career training for journalists that universities and other formal training institutions do not offer. And also on the realization that there was very little in-house training and mentoring at most of East Africa's media houses. So our vision as ACME is to become Africa's leading independent media and communication support organization. And our mission is to inspire journalists to seek and achieve professional excellence. And never has that been more necessary than today, where everybody is a journalist. Our mission is to help make our news media more reliable and credible as sources of information, to make our media effective watchdogs over what happens in our society, and to offer vibrant forums for public debate. Our mission is to equip members, academia, and the government with the skills to engage more effectively with the media. For them to understand that the media is not your enemy, but at the same time, the media is not your public relations arm. To educate the public on how to better appreciate the forces that shape the news, and to advocate, promote, and defend press freedom and freedom of expression. So for the past 11 years or so, ACME has been offering the following interventions: mid-career training for journalists, reporting grants as well for journalists, the award ceremony like this one we have today, media research and monitoring, media relations training and communication support for civil society and private sector groups, media literacy training for the youth and the general public, public dialogues, workshops and symposiums, freedom of expression advocacy, and offering website and online resources. Enough about ACME. Today is about our journalists and the awards. But even before that, I want us to talk about our MSID program, Enhancing Media Capacity for Inclusive Development, which we are launching, under which we are launching a research report that is profiling Uganda's journalists. MSID is a 2-year project that we are delivering with primary funding from the European Union delegation in Uganda and part funding from the National Endowment for Democracy. This project seeks to enhance the media's capacity to offer quality coverage of public affairs that can promote responsive governance and inclusive development in Uganda. Is there a reason why I am echoing my voice back? Should I just continue? Thank you. So what do we have under this 2-year project in terms of activities? Training and mentoring journalists to enhance their knowledge on land and natural resource governance, environment, urbanization, and public sector accountability. Training and mentoring rural-based journalists in investigative reporting. Issuing reporting awards, those are grants to encourage investigative reporting and in-depth public affairs reporting. Another activity is that we facilitate networking and knowledge sharing amongst journalists, media managers and owners by convening meetings and creating partnerships to enhance investigative reporting. And lastly, we conduct a mapping and research study on the profile of journalists and the general state of the newsroom in Uganda. So thus far, what have we achieved? 60 journalists completed 3 months of intensive training and monitoring and mentoring in covering land and natural resource governance, environment, urbanization, and public sector accountability. We also trained 60 rural-based journalists in investigative reporting. 20 grants were issued to journalists to conduct investigative and in-depth public affairs reporting by the end of this year. And 2 research reports, one on the profile of journalists in Uganda and one on the state of the newsroom in Uganda. A lot has been said about the intersection of journalism and public affairs in Uganda, but not much has been written about the people who work in journalism, save for the threats that they usually work under. So this report is about many of you in this room. The study, titled A Portrait of Ugandan Journalists in Turbulent Times, which is being launched today, profiles Ugandan journalists at a time when the role of the media occupies the center stage. It explores their demographics, role perceptions, professional attitudes and beliefs, and major threats to their freedom to do their work. All of us are aware that on top of COVID-19, our journalists have had to navigate the unprecedented violence unleashed by our security forces during the election period of 2021. The hashtag journalism is not a crime is one that all of us must, in whichever capacity we are, it's one that we must regularly use, because indeed journalism is not a crime. Even as recent as last week, we had one of our journalists again arrested in the course of doing his work. And for those of us who choose to keep quiet about journalism and the state of journalism in our country today, I would remind you that today it's me, tomorrow it will be you. Let's talk about now the reason we're here today, the Uganda National Journalism Awards, which were launched in 2014 in partnership with HIVOS. The first award ceremony was held in 2015, and today is the 6th edition. And it almost did not happen, but we do want to thank ACME that did not give up, and I want to give a special round of acknowledgement to the management and the team at ACME that did not give up on ensuring that these awards took place. Several partners have supported this work in the past, including HIVOS, Naya Breweries, and the Democratic Governance Facility, DGF. This year, support for the awards has been given by the Parliament of Uganda, UNICEF Uganda, Collaboration on ICT Policy in East and Southern Africa, CIPESA, National Association of Broadcasters, NAB, and Care and Assistance for Forced Migrants, CAFOMI. The Uganda National Journalism Awards was conceived as an annual scheme to reward and inspire journalists who work tirelessly, often in the face of great difficulty, political pressure, and financial constraints. The awards represent